Hello everyone, this is Direwolf20 and welcome to episode 67 of Direwolf20's Let's Play series. I am doing a few things right here. So real quick, I took a look and there's actually excess Potion of Strength 2 in this first fractioning still. Last episode we set up this whole crazy system and we're not in like the best place. So it looks like it needs 200 millibuckets per Potion of Strength 2 processing for the first one, and then down here we're okay, right? That there's okay, cool, and I got to 350. So let's say, because I want to have like a perfect amount of liquid, if I can, to be fractioning still, right? And hopefully that's doable. So I'm thinking we're going to need at least one more set of this stuff after this, because if my math is right, we're going to have a little bit of Strength 2 left in here after it, you know, filters it down, because it needs 200, right? So we're gonna have 50 left. Gotcha. Perfect. That's what I expected. So far we've done 3 sets. I'm very much expecting that you guys followed along from last episode, because we were kind of almost-ish in the middle of a build. So this is a 4th set. Let's see what this gets us. So this should clear out the first one. This should be empty at the end of this processing, right? Should do 4 more processes. Perfect. Nice. And done. Good. And then you're going to go, and you're going to go, and that leaves us with 750 potions of strength. Perfect. All right, cool. So that's actually a really good number. So I'm happy with the numbers now. Before I was unhappy with the numbers. Now I'm happy with the numbers. 4 sets of ingredients equal 3 potions. Cool. All right. So what we're going to need to do is impulse item duct over here. And we're going to need another servo, or another filter, but we don't need a super good filter because it's always going to be the same thing that's going to be filtered, so we'll just use one of the existing hardens that I have. We're going to need a bottle, which hopefully you know how to make. I don't know if you know how to make these. You might know how to make these? You don't know how to make these. Well, you're going to learn. Well, I don't know if you need to learn, but you probably need to learn, so... Done and done. Now you know how to make bottles in the event that you run out of the 100 or so that you already have. So now, in fact, I'm going to get 3 bottles. And I'd like an interface, if I may. So what we're going to do is today work on getting this whole potion crafting system up and running in a cool and interesting way, hopefully. So what I'd like to do is have it set up so that I can on-demand craft these really powerful and awesome potions that we're making in this compact machines room. And I'm liking compact machines because it's fun. So let's go down here. So what we're basically going to want to do is stick this interface right there. Cool. And that should allow items to go into that thing. And that should be nice. All right. So in here, I'm going to throw a filter and item ducts. So we're going to want impulse item ducts with a filter. That's going to whitelist glass bottles, right? And then boop, boop, boop. We don't want you guys connecting, and you don't actually have to connect any of these machines. So that when items come in, empty bottles can be allowed into the system, and they'll land over here, which will be part of the craft. So if I throw these 3 guys in here, they should fill up and auto output enabled. Auto output is enabled. Psst! Auto output. Why do you know auto output? You should recognize that that's the west side. You're all item ducty, right? Yes, all signal and plated impulse item ducts. So you should be smart enough to do this. We're going to try it with a servo. I'll be back in a sec. Okay, there we go. So let's pop back inside. Zoinks. Presumably you didn't go nowhere, right? Potion of Strength 5. Look how cool that looks. Nice. So just needed a servo. Boing. Now if we pop out of here, and we look for strength, we should have Potion of Strength 5. Beautiful. And then the third one shows up. Even cooler. All right. Where is my resonant conversion kit? Because I never upgraded that guy. Now, let's get our crafter properly installed here. So what we're going to want to do is break this. put it here. And let's go create a recipe and see what happens if we on-demand request this, right? So what we're going to do is set up a processing thing for bottles times 3. So 3 bottles, 4 blaze powder, 4 glowstone, and 4 netherwort should get me 3 potions of strength. I said 3 potions of strength. Cool. So 4 blaze powder, 4 glowstone dust, 4 netherwort, 3 glass bottle, 3 potions of strength. That should be cool. Now will this work? This is the moment of truth, ladies and gentlemen. This is the part I'm not 100% sure on whether or not it'll work. We're going to hope it is. We are now going to request potions of strength. Start. So if these machines are running, we lucked out. If they're not, and I'm not seeing anything, we might need to have that buffer chest in between. Like we have with, see, that's the reason I had the buffer chest, is I assumed this wouldn't work so well. I think what's happening is you're trying to insert all the items at once, presumably. Yeah, see, it's not super duper working. So it's probably trying to push all the items in one go into the compact machine, and it's failing to do so. The main reason for that is that the compact machine can only accept 1 item at a time, is probably what it's looking like. So what we'll need is some kind of buffer. So let's cancel this. Let's steal this pattern. Blocking mode. Remind me what blocking mode... I think blocking is what I want. Blocking. I think blocking is what I want. Oh, and we're going to need more patterns, so why don't you go ahead and do that. Oh, that was fast. I love it when it's super quick like that. All right, so maybe a hopper here would be a cool way to go. And then we could stick the crafter on the hopper. There you are. Do potion of strength. You just need a little bit of cable magic. And by cable magic, I mean a single cable. Ding. All right, so now what we should be able to do is request. When we say we want 1, it's going to make all 3. But those should go in, and then if we pop into this dude, we should see those items routing, and then the potions being made. Sweet. That is super cool. I like that a lot. Now, the reason I wanted to do blocking mode is I wanted to make sure that it didn't mix recipes. So I wanted to do all strength, and then quickly it puts all these items into these things. Once all the items have been transferred into the alchemical imbuers, we are free to send another set of items in for a different recipe, perchance. That is super awesome. Now, where did my bottles of water, or empty bottles, go? Whitelist, glass bottles. There you are. Hey, there they come. Beautiful. And now you're going to do the thing. Super sweet. That is awesome. I love it. And now if we look at strength potions. Oh, that is sweet. That is cool. That is super cool. All right, so now I'm going to assume that the same pattern applies, right? So what are some other potions we like to have that we can get? So let's just look at how we get alchemical, this dude. So there's leaping. There's lots of potions that I'm going to go through here, but I want to see what potions I might want to get. Let me flip through these for a second. We'll be right back. So let's try this. So what I'd like to do, I want to try it like straight from the get-go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this in here, right? So water bottles. So 3 of these and 3 of these. Now, potions of absorption actually require Glowstone. Blizz Powder. Okay, for absorption. And then awkward. Right? So we're going to want Glowstone times 4. Blizz Powder, which we may or may not be able to... Okay, we can craft it, so that's easy enough. You can redstone infuse snowballs if you want. 4. And then nether wart times 4 will get you 3 of those. In theory, that should be true. So let's see how right I am about absorption 5. If I did that right, the only other thing we have to do is get Blizz Powder into the whitelisting. So let's just take that with me, but I'm going to request Blizz Powder, or absorption. And what should happen is Blizz Powder is not going to be allowed in there. Yeah, it just skips Blizz Powder. For a moment, we'll fix that. You're going to whitelist Blizz Powder, which means that you're going to start getting some absorption potion, and hopefully the ratios and the numbers are the same as they are with strength. And if they are, this should all filter down to absorption 5. And that'll be really cool, and I'll be excited about it. Cool, 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 cool. So he's fractioning, he's fractioning. That is awesome. We've already gotten one of them. And there's the second. And some fractioning is still happening here. And there's the third. Boom. Nice. And then there's no more liquids laying around, right? No more liquids, no more liquids, no more liquids. So that's the same ratio for absorption and strength. So that's cool. Let's do 2 more. Regen and resistance, as long as the recipes aren't too shenanigan-y. So, like, let's do resistance next, right? Resistance 5. Because these are the potions that I usually like to go with. It needs glowstone, obviously, and pulverized obsidian. Alright, so I went and taught that recipe, which is pulverized obsidian. So I should be able to request that. Again, it'll put... It's probably going to process the pulverized obsidian first, and then throw it in here, because we had to, like, pulverize actual obsidian in order to get that. But then we hop in here, and we add you to the whitelist, and that's pretty cool. Nice, that is awesome. Resistance 2. And then it boops, boops, boops. Nice. Back in a second when that's done. And then I would like to also do regen. Alright, looks like it finished. And looks like everything's good. So now one more recipe that we're going to want to do. And I'm assuming that those potions are good. Nice. 3 potions of resistance, 3 potions of absorption. I just want to try it and find out. Sweet. That's cool. Now, it only lasts 30 seconds. So does that mean those extra hearts go away after 30 seconds? Probably. But let's do regeneration next. So regeneration needs a gas tier. Oh, that's going to be annoying. Because we only have 2 of those. So enstabulation apparatus? What is that? That sounds like a new machine. It's a centrifugal separator special. Allows for the processing of morbs. Morbs will provide items from the contained mobs. That's interesting. That's kind of cool. I might want to make one of these. So 50% chance to get gas tier. Reusable morb empty. This morb is reusable. Interesting. Carbonite gaslings. Cool. So do I have to keep capturing gas, or is that going to process the same gas? I assume that uses up. So, because I get an empty reusable morb, that makes me assume that it uses up, quote unquote, the gas that's inside the morb, which makes this kind of useless, right? But it also wouldn't make sense to keep getting reusable morbs if it didn't use up the morb gassed. So, like, part of me wants to try this. The other thing we can do is bees can make gas tiers. Who wants to get into geese? Yeah, bees, alright. Or just killing ghasts. Gas spawners have always been kind of a hassle because they require such a large amount of space. Like, we could totally set up a gas spawner, right? That wouldn't be a big deal to do. That would just be annoying. So that's a thing. I mean, we could try this instabulation apparatus in a centrifugal separator just to see what it's about. So what's a reusable morb look like? Reusable morb just requires signalum ingots. So this should be totally doable. So let's try it. So morb, check. Reusable morb, signalum nugget, please. That shouldn't be too bad to get. It should be pretty quick. Nice. So now let's pop over to the nether. I'm going to put away you. I don't need you. Or blaze powder at the moment. But the rest of the stuff I'm going to hang on to for a minute. Nether we can portal to with... Dun dun dun. The portal gun. Sweet. You were supposed to take that out. And I think it's still open up to the nether. So away we go. I don't know how morbs work, but they sound interesting. I'm assuming you just right-click on mobs to capture them. I don't see why that would be something. Hold a mob in stasis is reusable. Throw at a mob to capture it. Well, that's going to be fun. Especially considering that we have a magnet. So we're going to see how this works out. All right, so apparently I have to throw this at a monster to capture it. Sounds like something that's going to be fun to do when the monster tends to be flying through the sky above a lake of lava. We'll see what happens. First step, I presume, would be to find a ghast. Those are skeletons. I'm kind of peeking at my map there because that'll help me find ghasts. I guess back in a minute once I found one. And I am severely expecting that I'm going to capture a ghast, build a centrifugal thingy, and then we're going to put this reusable thing inside of it. And what we're going to find is that it's just going to kill the one ghast that we've captured and immediately decide that this is not worth doing. But I want to try it and I want to see it. So we'll be back in a minute. Found one. All right, so let's give this a shot. So if I just... Hey! That actually worked pretty well. And the magnet super helped. I expected like the magnet to be annoying. But it like... that was cool. Alright, cool. Now, hold mob stations with a throw to release the captured mob. Okay, cool. But first... we're gonna teleport home. Now, out of curiosity, will you recharge this thing? Alright, so the wireless recharger only recharges the flux capacitor. See, it's getting recharged. Okay, cool. Good to know. The tooltip said it only charges flux capacitors, but I was curious. So now you can be used in a centrifugal separator, right? So we're going to want one of those, which just needs, wow, a lot of things. We're going to need a couple copper gears, a couple Constantin ingots, a machine frame. Did I tell you guys last episode that I taught this thing how to make Constantin ingots? It's not hard. It is just, as you can see in induction smelter, it is nickel and copper. So I just taught that how that goes, right? I did say frame, yes, centrifugal separator. Gonna need one of you, and I think that's cool, except you need copper gears, which I'll just do manually rather than looking up and having to do stuff. And then instabulation apparatus. Sounds neat. So you need 2 diamond swords. So like I really feel like this machine's about to be completely worthless, but we'll find out. Invar gears and pistons. You know how to make pistons? And you know how to make Invar gears. And therefore you know how to make an instabulation doohickey. Now I'm not even gonna like put this in an appropriate place, because I just know. I'm gonna put it right here, because I happen to know that there is a power dude nearby. You need an augment, so let's get the lowest tier possible, a hardened upgrade kit. No sense in doing anything fancier. If it turns out that we should do something fancier, then I shall. But I really expect this to just one time get me a ghast. And then I'm not sure why this machine exists, if that's the case. but we'll find out. So you into here with that, and then you into here, and you're going to process the gas that's in there. Right. Reusable morb empty. So we got some essence of knowledge. So why does this machine exist? What is the purpose of this machine? Why would I go through the extra steps? It feels like killing something, but with extra steps. Like I could have just gone and killed that ghast, right? And with my sword, I've got looting, so I've got a better chance of getting a ghast here. I've got a chance of getting more than one. With this, it was only, you know. So I'm not sure I understand why you exist, machine. Why do you exist? Anybody? Back in a sec. Alright, we're going to hold off on gas tiers for now. Maybe that'll be a reason to do bees. I don't know. Comments. Yes bees or no bees? Tell me what you guys want to see. I'm really interested because in the past people have not liked bees, but it's been like a really long time since I've put any real time and effort into doing bees. And there's those, you know, gas tiers is a perfect example of an item that like you can't really get automatically in an easy way without doing bees, right? So you guys let me know and let me know what you want to think. But for now, I think I'd like to get a fancy bow, if I may. It's about time to take a look at doing some flux infused stuff, and I think a bow is kind of the best one to start with because I'd like to have a ranged weapon for what I'm about to encounter. Hintity hint. And let's turn you off processing mode, and let's just to make sure, because you always get derpy with the whole processing mode thing. All right, you are completely blank pattern now. All right, so flux infused bows. In order to make one of these, we need to do that, and then we need fluxed Electrum ingots, which is a fluxed Electrum blend and sand in an induction smelter, right? Processing. This does need to be processing mode, clearly. And let's get some proper sand so you don't get all confused on which type of sand to use. Okay, and then fluxed Electrum blend is made with 500 millibuckets of destabilized redstone. So that's 5 redstone, right? So let's get some Electrum. Do you not know how to make Electrum stuff? Pulverizer, please. There you go. And 5 of these dudes makes that. And then to make this, we just need a pulverizer of Electrum. So that should be easy. You already know how to make Electrum, and you just pulverize it. And then, where were we? So that's Flux Electrum ingots, and then we just need this, which is a not processing pattern, right? That's just a crafting recipe. To make obsidian rods is this, and then to make these Flux Crystals, it is 5 redstone. Okay, so let's put you in processing mode. You are 5 redstone and a diamond. Not an industrial diamond. I don't know why you keep doing that, you silly guy. Diamond and that's processing mode. Cool. So, down here we go. I'm going to say that, you know, this thing goes in here. Blocking. I put all these in blocking. I guess it doesn't matter if I have blocking on. I think it doesn't matter. I'm going to turn it off just so I don't accidentally leave blocking on again. So that is blocking. Anything with blocking on it is a pattern recipe. That's actual Electrum blend. Blocking, and blocking. Okay, cool. So the pulverizer here, that's where we're going to put this guy. Uh-oh, we're out of recipe slots. What can we do? So I think what I'll do is change things up a little bit. So these guys are all configured to output out the bottom, right? So what I'm going to do is make them signalum plated impulse item ducts out the bottom. Cool. So that they can get power. And then what I'm going to do is remove this entire line of stuff and make you just go boop, boop. And that should be cool. So now you've got power. And then I'm going to make it so that you can all receive items out the back. So we can have an extra line of crafters back here now, which should be cool. And if we got ourselves a crafter and put it on the pulverizer, and what I'll do for now, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to get a line of crafters here and have them all ready to go. Because eventually, right? So then the pulverizer recipe can go in here, and that should work just fine. Nice, and that should be good. And they should all be online because they're all connected to this wire, and that should be good. So now, in theory, if I wanted pulverized Electrum, that recipe should be available to me, and it'll spit out the bottom there and still work. And then it'll still get power, and everything's perfect. Yay! Another line of things and stuff. All right, cool. And then now for Electrum blend, that goes into this one, as does this guy. And now we might need to get a diamond and add you to the whitelist for the fluid transposer, because diamonds have to go in there, as does Electrum. Cool. And redstone is just going in here, so that's fine. And then the final step is the induction smelter, which is you. Cool. So now if I put this stuff away, let's test my auto crafting. So if I want a bow, I don't know why I taught it how to actually make the bow itself, because I'm probably never going to make more than one. I didn't actually teach it that bow recipe, right? I don't think so. Right? Oh, I did. I mean, I might as well just do it and then erase the recipe. So Flux Infused Bow, you should know how to make everything. Right? So you're pulverizing some obsidian, you're doing redstone, you're going to infuse some Electrum blend. That's cool. And a lot of these other prerequisite components are going to be used for better armor down the line. But for now... Oh, look, there goes the diamond. Sweet. That's cool. Nice. Super cool. Alright, I like it. So that actually should have made my bow for me. And that should be done by now. We have a lot of bows. It's working on Fluxed Electrum ingot at the moment. That should work. Good, it finished. Nice. And we have a Flux Infused Bow. Sweet. And that should charge up from my internal battery. Cool. Apostrophe to empower. So it's 200 RF per use by default. But that makes it even better. Sweet. That's 800 RF per use. It basically just gives it more damage when you do that. But we should also be able to enchant it. So do we have anything with infinity, by the way? The Infinity Enchantment book. Arcane and Sorcellator can make it. Sweet. Did I ever make one of those? I feel like that would be a good thing to make. I don't know if it was around at the time that I was doing some of this enchanting work, but that sounds like a cool thing to have, right? So, forgive me if I've already made one and, like, forgot, because that sounds like something I would do. But, yeah, we'll give it a shot. Arcane and Sorcellator needs an enchantment table. Check. Needs a couple lapis blocks. Check. Constantin gears and redstone reception coil and frames. I don't think I've made it before because it needs Constantin gears, and I only just now set up the recipe for Constantin. So I'm going to go ahead and assume that I have not made it before. Cool. So you're done. Cool. So Arcane and Sorcellator. Let's just top tier it, because why not? So you said a book. And an Eye of Ender. And Arcane and Sorcellator should get Infinity Assuming I have enough Essence of Knowledge, which I totally do. Let's get a new tank. Is this guy almost done? I'm going to request another one of these. I'm basically going to request, or I'm going to swap out this Signalum tank, which is full anyway. You've got one. Let's put you, upgrade to full. We'll even enchant you a little bit with some enchantment applicator. No. Enchantment factory, that sounds cool. Nice, holding fire, which holds 1.5, so 1,500 buckets. I'll take it. We're already kind of getting to the point where we're having trouble with the amount of experience we have, as in it's too much. A bit too much. Alright, so you can be covered back up, wall. Let's try out this Arcade Ensorcelator, because that sounds fun. Wireless. We'll get one of these guys ready to go. Because I never really did wireless charging over here. So we could do this Arcane Ensorcelator right here. I'm just going to do this for a second. Arcane slot lock. Unlock. Sweet. Okay. Behold magic. Okay, you and you. And now all you really need is blue on the top. Oh, hello. That works. Cool. Conversion. And let's get some speed augments, like for... Why don't you already know how to make... increases processing speed. Probably because I was just making by hand, because they're so easy to make. You're going to use way more than 80 arithmetic right now, by the way. But I can do this, right? Sweet, infinity. And then I can put that in the enchantment, so Flux Infused Bow. And infinity should give me infinity. Awesome. Okay. Now if I wanted power 5, power 4. So I can get that from Flint. So what I'd have to do is Arcane Ensorcelator. Okay. Let's see what I've got by way of power on existing bows. Can I search for power? Nope. Are any of you guys enchanted? Unbreaking, multi-shot. Power 1. Bleh. Multi-shot 2. I'd like better than power 1, please. I can get power 1, that's not the problem. That has power 2 on it. That's kind of nice. I was hoping to have better than power 2. I mean, I'll rip off a few power 2s and then we'll be good, right? Alright. Back in a second once I've gone through all these bows. Alright, getting a bunch of power 2s. Let's see. So you're unbreaking only, you're multi-shot, sweet. So we should have a decent amount. I'm going to put this here, by the way, so you can output into that guy as needed. Just to clear up my inventory a little bit. So power 2s. That's an unbreaking, so that doesn't go. Oh, was that power 3? It was. Nice. Okay, I'll take that. So in theory now, I should be able to do power 2 and power 2 equals power 3. 3 and 3 is 4. 3. 3. 4. 5. Needs level 11. Book. Actually, I think you're in here. Cool. So 4 and 4. Where'd you go? 4 there. And then I'm going to need to put it on the actual bow itself. So that is 12 levels. Cool. And by the way, I should be able to like... Oh yeah, hello. Nice. That filled that up quite a bit. So you and power 5 Beautiful. So that should be Infinity and Power 5. So I kind of want to try this out. Let's put you away. The rest of these, I got more power books than I needed, which is fine. Won't hurt to have a few extra. Because there will probably come a point where I get a better bow at some point in the future, hintity hint hint, that will need Power 4 or 5 again. Nice. That's cool. I want to try this out on an enemy. Now, of course, I've got protection, so, you know, we have to go look for one. So, what do we got? Why are you no-shooting something? Interesting. Do I actually need to have an arrow on me for Infinity? I would assume that I didn't, but I can have one. Yes, you need to have an arrow. Even though the graphic shows you drawing your bow, you need to have at least one arrow on you for Infinity to work, which is kind of a bummer. Oh yeah, one shot and bad dudes. Ow, blind, not helping. All I can see is the stars. Sniped, boom, boom, boom. I like this bow. I'll keep it. Nice. All right, back in a minute. All right, guys, so I'm going to call that the old wrapping up point. It is totally time. So that's cool. We've gotten some good progress today. So we've got a really nice bow that I love, and it's great, and it's cool, and it's awesome. And hey, come over here, you. There we go. And it does require an arrow in order to fire, which is a little bit of a bummer, but not the end of the world. Next episode, I think it might be time to take on the Ender Dragon. So for now, Darryl20 signing off. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. We'll come back next time. I think it's Ender Dragon time, guys. All right, take it easy.